Thank you, Kuhn, and thank you for all the considerations about the private label groups. Let me add also a special welcome to the new members of the Italian private label group that started right yesterday. It's a composition of very interesting companies, very engaged in private label, but not only in private label. So we are really happy to have this opportunity to show our vision about the opportunities for manufacturers in private label in Italy. Italy is a very particular situation, and we can see that the four Nielsen areas are really divided. But I want just to tell you that tomorrow morning you will know the last updated private label market share in Italy that went beyond the 20. Of course, we have a big gap with Europe, the rest of Europe, but the 20, you have to consider that it is composed by the 10% in the south, roughly, and the 30% in the north. Well, that means that some chains, for instance, I can tell you, U2 Viaggiator Goloso is about 42% of market share. Coop and Conan are beyond the 30% of market share, the two leading companies. So it's really an interesting market because also the segmentation of the offer or private label gives a lot of opportunities also for making premium products and to work on profitability, both on volume and on quality. Well, about the main retailer channels, we see that in Italy the big part is composed by supermarket with 42%. And this part is very important because it includes supermarket and superstores. It's going to growing again for some point. And together with the discount, the 19% in yellow you can see. Who is losing? Is losing very strongly hypermarkets. So they are really decreasing the market share, and so we expect that there will be a changement in this condition. And also proximity is very, very important for Italy. All the retailer chain are in proximity business. Coop started to do little stores in proximity. Carrefour with Carrefour Market, Carrefour Express is going to open a lot of stores in Italy, and Conad is, historically well present and distributed with little formats also all over Italy. And of course you can see also the way, this is the last week of sales stated by Nielsen, and Affare Finanza is a newspaper in Italy. You can see that there is a development in area 4, that is the south, of plus 2.52%. In the north, the consumption in a retail distribution chain is not so, is almost stable, a little bit decreasing. Why? But it's a similar situation of other mature markets all over Europe. But there is a great increase of the consumption of food out of home. And of course, the retailer is going to pay something like that. That's why we have a lot of innovation in this period, are opening stores that are combining restoration with retail together. And that's very interesting. Also, Esselunga opened its first store in Milan, in Corso Italia, not so large, but offering this kind of combination in the stores. And also about the categories and the products, in the supermarkets and in the stores, we have an increase of the part of fresh food. Fresh food is also the part that is less possible for doing retail online. Of course, there are more problems. So the physical retailers are increasing their activity with fresh food, and also for non-food, like here. This is the picture of the retail market share and chains in Italy. As you can see, You noted, if you have been here before with other countries, that in other countries with 3 and maximum 4 companies, you can get roughly the 70-80% of market share. Not in this case, because you see that the light blue color, 27.3%, is an aggregation of several leader retailers, Agora, Sun, MD, PAM, etc., that is very fragmented. So we have 4 chains that are leading the situation. There is now a point of very light fighting between Coop and Kona, 13.4 and 13.3. We are waiting on how many of the stores bought by Kona from Auchan will be effectively Konad or will be sold to other retailers. So it's going on this part of the work. Then we have Selex, that is a big aggregation of independent regional retailers. Then Esselunga, that is for performance one of the best European retailers. And then we have VG, Eurospin, etc. So we can see that the leading brand in discount is Eurospin, an Italian retailer, followed by Lidl, and also Aldi is growing, but Aldi just started 2 years ago to open stores. So we are waiting this fight. Stefano.
Okay. So, as Paolo explained before, the market share private label in Italy is 19.7%. It's nice to see that it's grow respect to last year, or 0.7, but it's much more grow in online, where market share private label is 23.5%. But when we speak about private label, mainly we don't consider discount. In Italy, discount represents 15% of market share. So if we consider also the value of the private label of the major discount, we estimate 27 billion euro of sales in private label. That means that the market share in Italy is roughly 27%. This is made by the sales of discounter and other retailers, of course, and the market share of each of them. So through this calculation, we can see that the market share in Italy is much more relevant respect to the data that we can see also in this trade show that is based on retailer, except not included discounter. How is developed the private label? Of course, the mainstream is the 76.2%, but premium, so had value private label, mainly regional product based on tradition of Italian cuisine, are 9.3%, and they are growing really faster of 13%. So the growth of private label in Italy is made mainly of premium product, organic, and then we can see the bio eco product. We can see the growth is 9%, and entry level. This is not the presentation. The entry level that is yellow color that grow of 10%. For instance, a few months ago, Esselunga, that is the leading retailer in Italy as performance, has just launched a new line of yellow products that is entry-level price and sorry, Smart is the name. Yeah, exactly, and they are growing very faster. This is the market share of private label in organics. So the private label is still growing for 42% to 42.7%, but it's nice to see that the other 5 national brands altogether represent just 7 points. So in some categories, like in positioning, like organics, retailers start before in Italy, and the innovation, mainly in many categories like organics, but also fresh product, is developed mainly from retailers. And of fresh product inside the sales of supermarket in Italy, it really increase a lot respect to the average of European. We assist a lot of retailers that come in Italy to visit supermarket to understand how they develop the proposal of fresh product. Fresh product help also to maintain a difference respect discounter. But in the last 2 years, also discounter have developed a relevant, significant market share of product in the fresh product. Thanks. If you have any question on the market and private label, we are. Paolo.
Let me explain some points, because some particularity of Italian retailers. Coop is leading and is a consumer cooperative. The business model. Conad is a retailer cooperatives. And we can say that, generally speaking, the association retailers are going better than the succursalist who owns the store, generally speaking. We had some examples for Auchan and also for Carrefour that in Italy they lost a lot of market share. So that's very important also in understanding the business model, which is the way to approach each retailer in being successful for supplying private label, because the decision-making structure is very different depending on the kind of retailer. So that's a point that I wanted to underline. Thank you. Luis.
Yeah, my question would be, from the Spanish point of view, what we really think, or the Spanish manufacturers think, is that the Italian market is quite well protected. So the Italian retailers really like Italian manufacturers. Do you think this is like that, or do you think opportunities for foreign private label manufacturers to really enter into the Italian market?
Well, that's true. That means that there are research in which people gives importance, Italian people, consumers, to the Italian sourcing. But there are also some other aspects. Italians are the most explorers of new products in food all over Europe. It's a research done by Nielsen all over Europe. So we are a bit contradiction in this point, because we love the Italian products, but we love to try new products. And that's why a lot of foreign products are very performing also in the Italian market. Of course, we are available to understand what is a typical product. Typical can be also from France, from Spain, from Portugal, from England. So we know what does it mean to make an artisanal product, good quality and typical products. So that's why we know that probably the offer of retailers is now lacking of foreign products that has this kind of profile, but they are going to increase also. Some more question? Qualche altra domanda?
Hello, I'm Tom Hazeloff from Belgium. I have a question. Outside of the retail market in Italy, there's still relatively strong wholesale market also. Surely in the fresh produce area. How do you see the development there? I also hear they're organizing themselves more in a professional way. Are there any opportunities there at that area?
At the wholesale level. Well, the wholesale level is much more connected with independent entrepreneur at a store level. When I speak about independent entrepreneurs, I mean also the members of Conad the members of VG, the members of Selex, not only the one that don't have a national brand. So that's why one of the strong point of Conad is to be spread all over Italy, but the owners of the stores are very strongly connected to the local communities, to the local business, so they are able to be very close to the consumer in each area. That's why some succursalist retailers are trying to do the same job, but it is more difficult because you are an employee that you go to Rome, to Naples, and then you sell. Okay, Naples and Rome are very different from Milan, and that is a problem. But the reason of fulfilling the offer at a local level keep also a lot of local wholesalers, especially in fresh food, with some business, because they give fresh products, service, and delivery, quick delivery for fresh products. You are welcome.